95% of your life is controlled by a ghost. While you sleep, while you walk, while you make daily choices, your conscious mind genuinely thinks it is the absolute ruler of your destiny. It is a lie. Modern neuroscience reveals a brutal, biological reality. Your brain processes roughly 11 million bits of information per second. Yet your conscious awareness can barely handle 40. The rest. It is entirely driven by your subconscious, a massive, silent, primeval supercomputer running in the dark. For every single thought you are actively aware of, there are 275,000 automated scripts executing beneath the surface. Every habit, every sudden burst of anxiety, every micro-hesitation you experience is generated by this hidden, cold machinery. And if you think you are the one pulling the strings, you are dangerously mistaken. Every time you hesitate, every time you surrender to a cheap dopamine craving, or let an external insult dictate your temper, that is not you choosing. That is your subconscious executing an old neural script you didn't write. You think you are acting on free will, but you are actually just reacting to old, dead patterns. The ancient Stoics understood this untamed beast perfectly. Marcus Aurelius warned that the soul becomes dyed with the color of its thoughts, meaning that if you do not consciously dye your mind with discipline, biology defaults to primitive survival mode, comfort, fear, and passive consumption. The brain is naturally wired to save energy. It wants you to stay in bed because to your primitive subconscious mind, safety means survival. But here is the dark reality that nobody wants to admit. Your biology is actively working to keep you weak. You see, your subconscious only knows what is familiar. Every time you repeat a weak action, your brain wraps a protective layer called myelin around that circuit, turning a temporary hesitation into a permanent, high-speed neural highway. You are literally addicted to your own weakness because your brain has optimized the physical pathways for it. The outcome of this is brutal. You become a spectator in your own life, watching your potential rot while your habits rule you. To break this biological dictatorship, you cannot just use wishful thinking. You must execute 3 precise protocols to physically rewrite the neural grid from scratch. First, cortisol conditioning. When you force yourself into voluntary hardships, like freezing cold water, intense heavy lifting, or fasting, your amygdala floods your body with stress hormones. The average man flees. But when you remain completely stone-cold calm under physical stress, you teach your subconscious an entirely new rule. Stress does not mean surrender. By voluntarily putting yourself in uncomfortable situations, you physically alter your brain chemistry, shrinking the fear center of your brain. But conditioning the body is only half the battle. The real invasion happens while you sleep. Second, the Theta-Wave rewrite. 20 minutes before you fall asleep, your brain waves slow into the highly suggestible theta state. The gates to your subconscious are left wide open. It absorbs everything without question. If you scroll through mindless social media in this critical window, you are actively programming your mind with anxiety, comparison, and envy. The outcome? You wake up the next morning already defeated. Instead, implement the Stoic nightly audit. Before you close your eyes, sit in total silence with a journal. Force your brain to process your failures, your victories, and your next day's non-negotiables. Yet, even with a perfect night's rest, there is one critical moment during the day where most men lose everything. And third, the 3-second cognitive intercept. When an external trigger hits, an insult, a temptation, or a wave of laziness, you have a biological window of exactly 3 seconds before your subconscious executes its automatic, emotion-driven response. You must intercept it before it becomes a behavior. Take 1 deliberate breath. Deactivate the fight-or-flight response, and let rational consciousness take the wheel. The outcome of mastering this intercept is absolute freedom. You choose your actions like a king, rather than reacting like a slave. Your mind is either a well-regulated fortress or an open field waiting to be conquered by the world. There is no middle ground. Stop letting random environmental triggers write your internal code. Take the hammer, take the chisel, rule your mind, or it will ruthlessly rule you. If this video brought value to your life and you learned how to conquer the shadow within, leave a comment below with your thoughts. The greatest way you can support this mission and help us grow is by subscribing to the channel. Let us build this empire of discipline together. Stay disciplined, stay resilient,